Good morning, and welcome to the University of Florida College of Health and Human Performance recognition ceremony for our newest recipients of the Master of Science and Bachelor of Science degrees. I'm Michael Reid, the Dean of the College. We will begin the ceremony with the playing of America the Beautiful by the University of Florida Faculty Brass Quintet. Will you please remain standing? Please be seated. Man, what a great group. I think there are more people right here than there were in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium this morning. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, so get used to that. There's going to be a lot of applauding today. We are here to celebrate the class of 2018, our newest graduates from the College of Health and Human Performance. You guys are too pretty to sit down. You all stand up and let us applaud you again. Thank you, graduates. Please be seated. Now, those of us here at the college, those of us at the university, and certainly these men and women know the importance of those friends and family who are in this room. It is your support that made this education possible for them. It is your support and your consistent approval and your backing of them that allowed them to get to this point. I know that they would like to thank you for that, as would we. So would the friends and family of these graduates please stand to be recognized? Thank you. It's wonderful to have you with us. Finally, I want to recognize the distinguished members of the platform party. Each of these is a faculty member or a staff member who has volunteered their time to join us today to be part of this. These are members of our leadership team for the most part who are critical for our college's function and for this event today. So I would like to ask them to stand up, please, to acknowledge them. Thank you. And around this hall, there are staff members and faculty members who are here today who volunteered their time to make this possible. And we thank you as well for being here. All right, so some of you don't know where you are. This is the historic Florida Gym. This building was built in 1949. Maybe on your way in, you noticed the historic plaque at the front. It's a part of the National Registry of Historic Buildings. This is the original Alligator Alley. This is where the University of Florida established itself as a basketball powerhouse. At that time, it was not air conditioned. And the opposing coaches accused our coaches of turning up the heat in August and September to give our team an advantage. This was also the place where every graduate from the University of Florida received their degrees. I know there are people in this room who have grandmothers and grandfathers who are Gators. They graduated in the 50s and the 60s. They did that in this room on this floor where you are seated today. This is where pep rallies were held. This is where the students gathered to hear music. This is where James Brown and Stevie Wonder and Johnny Cash played before they ever hit the big time. This is a place where leaders of our state and nation came to address the university and the people of Florida. So state legislators, governors, and national leaders. A young man named John Fitzgerald Kennedy, who was on the stump trying to be elected as the President of the United States, spoke from this floor in this building where you're seated today. So history has been made here. And now you, the class of 2018, are making history in your own regard. You are reviving our tradition of having a college-specific recognition ceremony where we get to celebrate you and we get to individually congratulate you for your success. We are proud of you, and we are proud to be here with you on this glorious day. Thank you. It is now my very great pleasure to introduce our speaker, Dr. Jill Varnes, who is a former dean and professor in the College of Health and Human Performance. Dr. Varnes is a legend in this college. I cannot begin to detail her accomplishments, although there's a lovely biography of her in your program. In brief, she is an alumna of this college. She is a distinguished scholar and an accomplished educator. She was a great leader of this college, and since her retirement, she has continued to be engaged in supporting this college and as a generous philanthropist. She has been a bulwark of this college for the last 30 years, so it's my pleasure to welcome her to the podium. Jill, welcome home.
Reach that, Mike. At least I'm not like Donna Shalala. I don't need a step to stand on to talk. And I will reiterate a couple of the things that the dean shared with you about this building. Not a lot. Dean Reid, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends of these wonderful graduates. It is an honor to be here today to celebrate the accomplishments of another group of outstanding new Gators. My family has a long history with the University of Florida and with this college. My husband and I have 5 children, all of whom have at least one degree from the University of Florida. As a family, we have a combined 14 degrees from the University of Florida, 8 of which are from the College of Health and Human Performance. I can assure you that this university and this college provide a very strong foundation upon which to build your future. When Florida Gym was completed in 1949, it was the largest event venue on the University of Florida campus, and with a seating capacity of almost the entire student body, 7,000 people. The building housed most university-wide events. In addition to the musicians that Dean Reid mentioned, I remember seeing performances of Hair and Jesus Christ Superstar right in this venue. We had graduations here, and of course, there was basketball. Lots of basketball in this building. The look, however, was very different, as you might imagine, in 1949. The floor was 3 times the length this way, so imagine no anatomy labs or GA offices on the other side of that wall. There was bleacher seating overlooking the court, and there was also seating on the floor, about 6 feet from the playing court. It's no wonder that Alligator Alley soon became one of the most dreaded places for other teams to play. In the summer of 1974, when I graduated from this college, the name was Physical Education, Health, and Recreation, and my last name was Wilson. Due to the alphabetical organization, our college was the last group to cross the stage. I was seated to my right, further back here. The stage was up there, and all the graduates were here. So when I walked, I was in the last aisle in the last row, last seat. Okay. So when I walked across the stage, you can imagine what happened. Rousing ovation. Of course, you guessed it. I was the last one to cross the stage. So that was literally the end. But for me, it was a beginning, just as it is for you today. Hopefully, you have already identified what you hope to accomplish next in life. Whatever goal you set, it is best accomplished with a sense of optimism and a positive outlook. Consider for a moment that you are a master tailor. You have the ability to stitch together the fabric of your life. What material will you use to determine what's my life going to look like? Will it take the tone of negativity that so often echoes in our mind whenever we have not accomplished what we thought we were going to or what we set out to do? When you fail to win that game or that match or ace that test that you were certain you were totally prepared for. Or maybe you use the material of those positive tones that come from success or the result of self-talk necessary to bring growth that comes from mistakes or perceived failures. Most likely, we have all heard the country song, "Thank God for Unanswered Prayers." Those of us with more advanced years certainly realize how true those words are. Excuse me. One of my favorite pastimes is reading. My choices are somewhat eclectic, everything from self-help to fiction, nonfiction, biographies. Two of my favorite writers are Michael Conley and Carl Hassan, great writers and, if you didn't know, great gators. So on one of my wanderings through a bookstore, I picked up a book by Tom Morris, UNC Chapel Hill Distinguished Alumnus, rock guitarist, and former professor of philosophy at Notre Dame. What caught my eye was his dedication to Mary for her encouragement, her straight talk, and cute shoes. As a woman who believes that the woman with the most shoes wins, there was no way I was not going to buy this book. Morris's premise is that true success in life is not possible until one masters the art of achievement. He identified 7 elements necessary to achieve one's goals in life. In reading his book, it was evident that his thinking resonated with my own. I have always been a goal-directed person, but willing to refocus when necessary. Succeeding in achieving one's goals is more art than science. To paraphrase Aristotle, success in life ultimately depends on what you know, do, and become as a result. That is why it is necessary to engage in some self-reflection and a little talking to yourself along the way. Morris spent a considerable amount of time analyzing the writings of ancient as well as modern-day philosophers on achieving success and excellence in life, and found that he could group all that he had read, all that he had learned, into 7 critical elements, what he called the 7 C's of achievement. It may well be that as we review these 7 C's, you will be able to identify how you have already embraced their elements to achieve what you have accomplished today. According to Morris, the first of these 7 C's is a clear conception, clear vision, understanding exactly what you are aiming for, a goal that is clearly imagined. To paraphrase the words of the Roman philosopher Seneca, whatever we do ought to be in harmony with what we determine to be our chief purpose in life. One of the most recognized Gators, Tim Tebow, has led a purposeful life, partly because he has always had a clear, vivid vision of what that life needs to be. Tim's latest book, This Is the Day, he says life is not about one day, not going to wait for that one day. I'm going to make today that day. Humans are teleological in perspective. Teleological means targeted. We like to have that target or goal clearly identified. A speaker presenting at a conference I was attending used this example. And if we were in a classroom, I'd do it too. I'd use it too. Make you get up and participate. He asked the participants in the room, or one participant in the room, to walk in a straight line to a specific destination in that room. As the participant began to walk forward in that straight line, he stepped in front and put a chair in the path. She simply moved around the chair and began and proceeded to the destination. The destination was clear, and even though the chair caused her to deviate from the straight line, she did not deviate from the destination. Using the same strategy, he told another participant to walk to any destination in the room, anywhere you want to go, but do it in a straight line. This time, when he moved the chair into the path, the person simply turned around and went in a totally different direction. The destination was not clearly defined. Having that clear conception or vision of what you want to achieve or where you want to be is the only way you can make it happen. This degree was a clear vision, a goal that is now achieved. So now you have to do what? Yes, establish a new clearly conceived goal. The second C is confidence, that you can attain your goal. Anytime you move into uncharted waters or set forth to achieve a new goal, there is an element of anxiety. Now, a little anxiety can be a good thing. It enhances performance. It makes you prepare better. So it does not block the path to success, but can make you more observant as you move forward or may encourage increased preparation. To have confidence in your ability to be successful, you must have some sense of trust within yourself. And you must have confidence in your skills related to the goal that you have set. The degree of confidence that you have determines how boldly you go forward, keeps you moving along that path to success. Confidence comes from many sources: previous experience, mentors, family, friends, those along the way with shared experiences or encouragement that they give you. Confidence creates potential. There is no psychological problem more common than a lapse of confidence. As Virgil noted, they achieve because they think they can achieve. So a lot of it is in our mind. If we think we can accomplish that goal, we're a lot further along. Eleanor Roosevelt is one of my heroes. She began life with little confidence in herself, believing that she was ugly and uninteresting. Fortunately, she was exposed to the type of educators that provided her opportunities to develop her intellect as well as her social consciousness. Eleanor believed that anyone can conquer fear by doing the things she fears to do. provided you keep on doing those things until you have a successful record of experience behind you. Most importantly, to build confidence, you need to build competence. Preparation to attain your goals is like location in real estate. It's the only thing. Next is focused concentration on what it takes to reach your goal. Booker T. Washington once said, "Nothing ever comes to one that is worth having except as a result of hard work." Will Rogers said it another way, "Plans get you into things, but you got to work your way out." A clear focus on the goal as well as knowing what it will take to achieve your goal. This graduation marks your attainment of a clearly defined goal. Throughout this process, you had a clear vision as to what was necessary in order to succeed, to achieve your goal. The fourth C is a stubborn consistency in pursuing that vision or goal. The word consistent comes from the Latin, which means to stand together. If your goal is consistent with your values, how you see yourself, then your actions and words will stand together, will be consistent. The power of consistency is to wear down the barriers or temptations that are placed in front of you and continue on the path toward your goals. Will Rogers warns that the road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spaces. He obviously was never on this campus. Consistency is not the same thing as habit. The type of consistency that is needed has to do with the goal you have envisioned. Vision consistency is goal-centered and directed by your values and your beliefs. This type of consistency is forward-looking. Where do I want to be next week? Where do I want to be next year? Actor Carrie Fisher noted, there is no point in your life at which you can say, well, I am successful now, so I guess I'll just take a nap. Next is an emotional commitment to the importance of what you are doing. Am I passionate about this pursuit? Passion is reflected by enthusiasm and an emotional commitment. Nothing of significance can be achieved without the emotional commitment or passion for your goal. Woody Allen noted, the only thing standing between me and greatness is me. The opposite of passion is boredom. Life is much too short to be bored. Or more specifically, the days may be too long, but the years are too short to just coast through life disinterested. Within each of us, we have the power to not be bored, to be interested in whatever is going on around us. The master tailor that focuses on the positive while creating his or her tapestry will more easily make the emotional commitment to their goal and will more easily overcome barriers to achievement in attaining that goal. That great philosopher, Yogi Berra, noted, in life and in baseball, 90% of the game is half mental. He did go on to say that the other half is physical. Okay, almost there, almost there. We've identified conception, clear vision, confidence, I can do this, focus, consistency, or concentration, focus, consistency, actions and words stand together, and commitment, passionate about your goal. So the sixth characteristic would be character, or the sixth C is character. This is the attribute that keeps us on course and continues us along the path of identifying and finding ways to develop the skills necessary to achieve life goals. Character is a matter of who you are, your values, beliefs, ethical conduct. Your character determines what you're most likely to do and who you are most likely to become. One of the most critical elements of truly good character is integrity, sort of our moral wholeness or ethical unity, an integral part of something that contributes to the greater whole. The other elements of character include honesty, fairness, and kindness and humility. As you make this journey to success, the seventh attribute that you need is the art of capacious enjoyment. Make goals that will enable you to have fun along the way, to enjoy the benchmark successes as you continue on your journey, for your ultimate goal is critical. If you are not enjoying the ride, then maybe it's time to change the transportation. On a regular basis, we should question if what we are doing is contributing to our own happiness and that of those that we care about. Are we energized by our goals and daily activities, or do we complete the day totally drained? It is up to us to ensure that every day counts and that we experience the best that every day has to offer. Although Eleanor Roosevelt advised to confront your fears, actor Will Smith urges us all to live life without fear. He says that fear can tell you dumb stuff. If you get a chance, there's a great YouTube video where Will Smith describes his skydiving experience. You should look at it. He said that the bottom line of what Will said is that the best things in life are actually on the other side of fear. Reaching this goal was worthwhile. It is likely you employed many of the achievement strategies we reviewed today, especially effort, passion about the goal, giving your time. Oh, and one we didn't mention, money. Setting and achieving big goals usually involves enormous personal growth. Once the goal has been met, the growth shouldn't stop. If there is one thing I have learned in life, it is that I still have a lot to learn, and for that I am thankful. One last thought. Now that you have reached this wonderful milestone, just remember, don't go through life with catcher's mitts on both hands. At some point, you really need to be able to throw something back. Thank you.
Dr. Varnes, thank you so much for those words. Our graduate speaker is a recipient of the Bachelor of Science in Health Education, Evelyn Maria Veras Cedeño. As a student, Ms. Veras has excelled both academically and through her involvement with Hispanic Heritage Month, Multicultural Greek Council, Gamma Eta Sorority, and Students Taking Action Against Racism. Her leadership skills have been recognized by the University of Florida this very morning, where she was one of 2 students who in the university-wide commencement exercise received the Outstanding Leadership Award for this year. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Veras now. Evelyn, please.
So, before I begin, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the College of Health and Human Performance, its entire administration, Dean Reid and assistant deans, and to the faculty and staff. And a special thank you to Dr. Emanuel, Dr. Moses, Brittany Shambo for helping me get to this moment. So here goes. When I was 13, I wanted to go to a carnival with my best friend. I asked my dad, and he told me that I was too young to go without supervision. Battling with my teenage angst and irrationality, I decided I was going to go to the carnival without my parents because I was too old to have them tag along. That night, as the carnival began to shut down and most of the people headed home, I asked someone to take a photo of my best friend and I. We posed for the photo, and from the corner of my eye, I saw a man taking a photo of us as well. I let my adrenaline rush get the best of me, and I yelled at the man, "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" The man began to walk towards us, and with what seemed to be not so nice intentions. And at this point, there's no one around us, the lights have dimmed down, and I'm squeezing my best friend's hand as we're both shaking, thinking that I probably shouldn't have yelled at that creepy stranger. But then out of nowhere, my dad shows up. As he began to walk towards us, the other man changed his course of direction and ran away. Phew, I thought. I hugged my dad so hard after that. He was literally at the right place at the right time. I quickly took back all of the anger that I had towards him, and I admitted my defeat. He was right. I wasn't ready to be by myself yet. And it's been almost a decade since that moment, and guess what? As I'm standing here at 22 years old, getting my degree, I could not feel any less prepared to venture out into the world without my dad by my side. I wish so desperately that I could tell my 13-year-old self not to rush through growing up, to take more advantage of that protection and constant supervision. Because right now, I wish I could go back to when the hardest choices in my life seemed, am I going to eat school lunch today, or am I going to pack a sandwich? Granted, it still feels like the majority of my time is spent scheduling when and what I'm going to eat, but my point is that I wish I knew then what I know now. That one day, it will all fly by, and in the blink of an eye, you will be here, graduating and probably wishing you were still a little kid again. Today, December 15th, 2018, we are gathered here to celebrate the collection of struggles and successes that have shaped this very moment. This graduation ceremony symbolizes the mark that the University of Florida has had on us within our development and education, but it symbolizes so much more. Because being a graduate of the College of Health and Human Performance means that we are now experts in the improvement of the human condition, its physical, mental, spiritual, and holistic health. This is a ton of responsibility. We will hold degrees within fields like applied physiology and kinesiology, athletic training, health education and behavior, tourism, event and recreation management, and sports management. Degrees that have instilled in us the value of the relationship between mind, body, and human movement to improve quality of life in regards to health and disease. That have opened our minds to the array of health problems linked to lack of exercise, diet, substance abuse, stress, unintentional injuries, pollution, and even cultural or socioeconomic barriers. Degrees that have enlightened us in understanding the range of factors that lead individuals, families, and industries to value the benefit from tourism, recreation, parks, and sport to improve the quality of life. We are the next leaders within the healthcare industry, the medical world, the tourism industry, the athletic training and athletic management industry, and especially within the world of research. We are here because we understood that healthcare is beyond looking at the x-rays, but also looking at the external barriers to health education. Since 1946, the University of Florida's College of Health and Human Performance has dedicated itself to establishing a wholesome education curriculum with education that goes beyond the textbooks. Our faculty are researchers and academics that strive to enhance our experience by advancing knowledge about all aspects of the human condition, ranging from those suffering with illness to those suffering boundaries that prevent their accessibility to a fair life. The most influential opportunity that HHP granted me with has been the integration of education and experience. As students of this college, we get the chance of a lifetime to apply what we learned in the classroom to real life experience. Working in a quality improvement team, I have seen firsthand that the medical world is so much more. That while reality is that our roles are to prevent and to treat harmful diseases, this serves very little purpose when those suffering can't understand what is happening to them or how to effectively prevent or treat illness. I now understand the ample potential to enhance healthcare for everyone. I firmly believe that this has been the point of college, to understand the academic aspect and to apply it to make your efforts count, seen not just in your grades, but on the ability to make someone's life better. Today is about celebrating our greatest accomplishment thus far. Despite the obstacles that came with the past 4 years, or 4.5, the countless hours spent at Marston or Library West, you have made it. To the graduating class of 2018, I extend my gratitude for pushing me to be my best self and for being here sharing this major moment together. Whether you're a third or fourth generation Gator or the first in your family to attend university, I hope that you feel proud. You can now say that you are a graduate of this one-of-a-kind department that has shaped this university to become the 8th ranked university in the entire country. Lastly, I wish to leave you all with some advice that I have gathered here throughout the past years. First is to never stop learning. Remember the values and the lessons that HHP and the University of Florida have taught you. The importance of research and application of the sciences. That it's much more than a textbook, and that a professor is a resource guide. That people here really do want you to succeed, and that you are always a reflection of the people that invest in you. Whether that's your family, peers, or faculty, learn as much as you can because knowledge is power. Second is to keep defying the odds. Whether you're a first-generation student or you feel like you're someone that's not good enough, fight to make a difference in whatever it is that you wish to do. Believe in yourself enough, and you will make a difference in the world. Your existence is valuable and so necessary. I see you, and we all see you. Remember this moment and fight for your right to happiness. You will get there. And last, do not forget where you come from. Foster community everywhere that you go. If you see that someone is not included in the conversation, bring them in. Develop leadership by bringing people with you. When life opens up doors for you and you get through one, make sure that it's big enough for you to bring 2 or 3 people with you. Success should be when all people are able to obtain a seat at the table. To my family and my friends that became my family, thank you for everything you have done for me. Thank you for believing in me from the beginning and for being the light that never gives out. I love you all, and this is because of you and for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Veras, for those inspiring remarks. And now, the point we've all been waiting for. This is our opportunity to recognize our fall 2018 graduates. I will be assisted in this by Dr. Josie Algren, who's a senior lecturer, and Dr. Chris Chanel, our associate dean. Before we begin, I want to ensure guests that individual photos of your graduate crossing the stage will be sent to your graduate. We want this day to be a happy one, so please don't block the view of other folks. Let's enjoy this together. Now, will the recipients of the Masters of Science degree please stand to be recognized? Marshals, please escort the candidates to the stage.
Tiffany Thorpe, Ashley Thomas, Michael Marzella, Zara Moslemi, Daniela Mae Wilson, Abigail Warjanski, Ryan McEnany, David Alexander Davis, Matthew Tyson, Mark Israel, Robert Gonzalez, Richard Bowie,
As the graduates are being seated, we want to congratulate all the master's degree recipients. Now, will the bachelor's degree recipients please rise to be recognized? Marshals, please escort the graduates to the stage.
Amanda Lorenz, Alexandra Voss, Janelle Wheaton, Sabrina Henrith, Kelsey Barrett, Patrick Shelton, Rachel Brost, Bonnie Liu, Nicole Doddart, Joanne Marie Nales, Stephanie Perez, Calvin Yan, Sarah Cott, Marie Jean Guylis, Kimberly Roca, Jason Howell Jr., Kiara Krulikowski, Miranda Goss, Stephanie Robita, Kaylin Marquise, Sheen Joseph Hahn, Jaquarius Williams, Darwin Colebrook, Jr., Emily Pitts, Avina Valles, Amy Budsko, Ricardo Jose Blanco. Robert Jennings Raymond II. Kelsey Rao. Duran Daniel. Amanda Bianchi. Brianna Anguilango. Drew Toro. Jacob Hauser. Richard LaFountain. Kristen Gonzalez. Brittany Maglor. Spencer Beckerest. Keegan Algate. Karen Ronson. Arita Harris. Tyra Winters. Caleb Griffel. Matthew Golden. Bryce Williams. Chelsea Davis. Jennifer Fry. Evan Murray. Ryan Heiser. Saime Liu. Alexa Morrow. Christy Etheridge. Mary Rosalind Jernigan. Morgan Phelps. Evelyn Veras. Asmer Monterey. Blessing Alensi. Jihee Park. Anthony Capello. Juliana Canizares. Ruby Pena. Ryan McDonald. Bella Perkins. Michelle Agee. William New. And our last graduate to walk across the stage today, Michael Eagle.
So, one last time, don't you think we should applaud for these folks? I'm now going to turn the podium over to Dr. Chris Chanel, who will conclude our program.
Thank you, Dean Reid. So in just a moment, we will conclude the program by singing "We Are the Boys of Old Florida." We don't usually sing that one, do we, when we get together? We're going to today. Before doing so, however, bear with me for just a couple brief announcements. After singing "We Are the Boys," there will be a brief recessional of the platform party and the graduates. We ask that parents and guests remain at their seats until after the graduates have left the gymnasium. All guests and graduates are then invited to the Florida Gym courtyard outside our main entrance immediately following the ceremony to meet and greet members of our faculty and our staff. And now, to close the ceremony, it is my honor to invite you to stand for the singing of "We Are the Boys" for the first time as UF alumni, accompanied by the UF Faculty Brass Quintet. Not that you need them, but the words are in the back of the program. We invite everyone to lock arms, sway side to side, and join in singing loud and proud, "We Are the Boys."